and holds a BFA in sculpture and painting from UA. She's a full-time graphic designer and also is a wonderful oil painter. So I'm going to let her take it over. And
yeah. So this show is kind of, I named it Passages 2. It's kind of about, I guess a lot of y'all have seen my underwater work, and that's what I spent many years doing primarily. I've kind of been transitioning from that to study other things, and this is just, this is representing kind of like a passage and a change, I guess, in life and in my artwork, subject matter, the way that I paint. I'm trying to paint a little differently than complete realism, and it just kind of represents, there's a mixture of underwater, then flowers, and then other things that kind of represent dynamic motion in different ways. So I tried to hit on kind of like a forward motion of a personal forward motion, I guess, of progressing in my relationship with painting, but also other things that have to do with motion. So not necessarily a lot of more underwater work. This one was a newer water work that I did, but the rest of them kind of just have to do with other things in motion. Like there's a fire that's pretty dynamic, and catfish, they move dynamically. This one's a cat's tail, so it does move, but it doesn't move dynamically, but a real cat's tail does, so it's just kind of fun. And some eggs and butterfly, things like that. So I had fun with the theme, but it did a little more thinking about subject matters that had to do not with direct water. So anyway, I know that was all over the place. That was a speech on a fly. Questions?
Cat's eyes.
Cat's eyes.
When you did that?
Yeah, it's just like kind of a after image effect. Like, you know, yeah. It's one that I've just kind of been working on for a while. I actually did it a while ago, but I just kind of refreshed it recently. Made it a little deeper. Yeah, it's actually a reflection of a cat in glass that has an after image effect to it. So that's, yeah.
That's cool.
That's nice.
I know you've like done a lot of your water work, but like also in like the egg stuff, there's like some fluidity and stuff that's going there. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about like how the technique behind getting like the sheen of like the liquid to kind of pop in your.
Yeah, so that's definitely part of my journey that I enjoy a lot, especially doing a lot of water and loving that sheen. You can do it a few different ways, but the way that I think of it is when you make, like, it's the glares, it's the receding shadows, it's the colors, those are the things that make the shape. And so what I've been trying to do is kind of simplify that shape to make it a little bit more, I call it a little bit more painterly, but just kind of simplify it, but give it that same oomph and that same feeling with, and that's harder for me to simplify it. Like even with the eggs, I actually started the eggs, which are just kind of a round shape, so it's the easiest shape to do that with, like shadows and light. So I started and I was just doing paint strokes, and I really just wanted to stop there and kind of keep it blocky, I guess, more abstract is, I guess, what it is. But yeah, it's just a lot of blending, which I'm trying to get away from as well. Blending and then bringing the highlights out, and then also just making the little highlights of the bubbles. I'm just kind of having fun with it, and also like thinking about it, not wanting to be too precise with it, have a little fun doing it, enjoy the tedium of like the bowl and things like that, but also have fun, not make it the exact eggs. Yeah.
Was the biscuit an actual biscuit?
The biscuit was biscuit. And you can tell it's an actual biscuit because nobody else would probably put the jelly on that biscuit like with me. It does not look, it's not very like ideal, I guess, of a jelly placement, which is why I like doing things like that.
you can almost, like, well, that's cool, cause you can see, like, with the big globs of it, you
Yeah.
just like see them moving.
Yeah.
I think it's politically expressive.
Yeah, and so that's, yeah, I thought, you know, just water, anything jelly-like or having that kind of, like, any kind of viscous thing, I guess. I like to see the motion in that. So, like all those glares. The fire was super fun, so that I feel like is the most I've gotten into that painterly way of painting and been confident about it. Not been over blending, not, you know, just kind of being a little bit more looser, more strokey, I guess. Letting some more like hot pink background come through to make a glow. So that was super fun, and that's what I'm excited kind of for this passage to go into is, and not necessarily fire, but painting that way way more often, I guess. But I'll probably do it with water and other thing. I'm just, yeah, this is just the beginning. Another passage, maybe not the beginning. But, yeah.
Is that a fish West call?
It is. And it's grandma's pond.
There's
On
catfish
a
and
fly, yeah. 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 Yeah, we're big into, haven't had much time lately to do it, but fly fishing and stuff, and that's a lot of the connections with, yeah, catfish, some little flies, yeah. So, what did you say? What, any more questions?
The fire painting, did you paint that with the intent to do multiple canvases, or was that an idea that came later?
No, that was just an idea that came with it. It's already, you know, just it being on a triangle canvas and the shape of the logs and the fire. Yeah, I just had 3 small canvases, and I was gonna do some other stuff on them, but I thought that they would be better. It's more fun. Like having a degree in sculpture and not using it that much. I also I think I need to play with those kind of things a little more. So if I find the opportunity, I'll start to play with that.
Feels like sparks.
Yeah, yeah. You know, those are the things that get you when you're sitting there. You had a favorite coat.
Okay. Any more questions?